Hi there, this is Terry, and welcome to another episode of the Animation Industry Podcast. Today I'm chatting with Gemal Plummer, a local CG animator here in Toronto. Gemal studied animation at Seneca College and has since worked at quite a few studios as a 3D animator, including Cup of Coffee, Guru, Jamfield, and Industrial Brothers. So if you're looking to become a CG animator like Gemal, this episode is for you because he gives his best tips and advice on what it takes to get hired as a CG animator and what you can expect from your first job. Plus, he's going to share what he did to up his game when he was having trouble finding work, how to make the right connections that pay off, and the ins and outs of what a 3D animation role actually entails on a weekly basis. Now, before we get into the chat, I have a sponsored message to share with you, and it comes from the Animation Box. The Animation Box is an online learning platform specializing in teaching 3D character animation. Right now, they have a special deal on their Cartoon Mechanics Masterclass, where you can learn step-by-step how to animate a cartoon-stylized shot, from blocking to breakdown to spline, all in Autodesk Maya. This masterclass is a 20-plus hour video course full of unique lectures, tips and tricks, and workflow methods that are used in the feature film industry today. You'll also get access to their unique character rigs for Maya that can be used to create your own personal shots too. Plus, they offer mentorship training, and more workshops are coming in the near future, so you should go and check them out at theanimationbox.com, and I've included a link to all this in the description of this podcast. Now, let's jump into the chat. All right. Hi, Gemal. How are you doing? Thanks for coming on the podcast.
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited to chat about the world of 3D animation in Toronto.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks. So we're talking about 3D animation. I'm wondering, how did you get into this in the first place? Because if I'm thinking back, like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, 3D was not as big as it is now. So how did you end up getting on this path in the first place?
Yeah, well, originally I wanted to be a hand-drawn animator. It all began when I first watched my first Looney Tunes cartoon, and I saw all the characters squashing and stretching and doing all these great expressions, and like they were moving so fluently, and like everything was funny, and like it really caught my eye. And I only found out a year or two later that like that's an actual job. So ever since that day when I saw that first cartoon, I knew I wanted to do that. It was just the only thing was how could I do it and be good at it, basically. I knew at a very young age I wanted to do this. It's just getting there is the hard part.
Gotcha. So I'm guessing you were like maybe like 5 or 6 when you first saw this?
Yes. Yeah. I was like 5 or 6.
And then by the time you were like 7, you're like, this is a job?
Yeah. Like I found out pretty early on that like, oh yeah, this, like, you could do this for a living. Like, this works. And so like ever since then, I started pursuing art and like trying to learn what I can with animation before I went to college.
Oh,
so
wow.
In high school, from like grade school to high school, I would always be drawing like superheroes. I would always have my nose in comic books. I would always be watching cartoons and playing games, and all those things really inspired me to like pursue an art career.
Nice. So for years you were just kind of fantasizing about becoming a 2D animator like the Looney Tunes.
Exactly.
And you were like working your butt off, and then you got into college.
Mm-hmm.
And then how was that experience? Did that change your perception of going into 2D versus 3D? I'm just wondering when you made the switch.
Oh yeah, like it did change my perception because like hand drawn stuff was getting pushed out a bit, but like I knew I wanted to do 3D when I saw, I think it was I had an interest in 3D when I saw Reboot for the first time. I saw just all the primitive was
that show was awesome.
That was like a really
I just looked it up.
Show.
It came out in 1994.
Yeah, 94. Yeah. And like it was one of the first CG shows. Yeah. But like just the look was so out there because like I know it takes place in a computer,
Yeah.
but like just the look itself was really out there. Like all the designs of the sprites and the viruses and the binomes and the nulls, like it was all so different, and like that kind of piqued my interest. And then like once Beast Wars came out and Shadow Raiders and all the other 3D shows, like I got more and more interested in it. So when I got to school and I found out 3D was an option, I sort of turned toward that
Yeah.
because I think at the time hand drawn stuff was being like there wasn't much in this in Toronto. So I thought the next best thing is 3D. So because the principle still transfers, just you're just you're just using a different medium, like a different pencil.
Right, right. I'm just thinking like Reboot and Beast Wars. Those are like pioneers in 3D for TV shows, pretty much.
Hell yeah.
So I would almost say you're at the beginning of this curve of 3D animation. So you're in school, you
Mhm.
discover 3D, and you're like, I want to do this. So you were kind of and just at the turning point when 2D was, I mean, 2D is still around, but when 3D was
Yeah.
becoming more a thing. So when you
Yeah.
graduated, sorry, your degree is in animation, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. Animation.
What school did you go to?
Seneca College.
Seneca, very nice.
Yeah.
So when you graduated, how were there lots of opportunity in 3D, or was it still kind of a struggle to find something there?
It was still a bit of a struggle. Like when I first got out, my first job was actually in 2D doing a Flash game. So so I still had that like as a backup for when I got into 3D. It was just when I graduated school, I felt like my 3D portfolio wasn't that strong enough. So so I accepted some 2D roles. So in the meantime, I could like improve on my 3D work.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Were there a
But
lot of
then,
other people competing to get into 3D at the same time?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
like animation, it's a very competitive industry. Like there's a lot of people like running for spots and whatnot, and like there's only so many. So like yeah, it was pretty competitive. But like when I got out, like I didn't find work like that quickly. It still took a little bit, but like I was still like hungry for it. So I tried to work in my spare time, just getting my 3D stuff
Yeah,
better.
I'm just wondering. So you've done a lot in 3D now, and you've got a
Yeah.
portfolio and a demo reel going, and I'm assuming you see a lot of other people's demo reels coming out of school too.
Oh yeah.
Comparatively, when you look back to your demo reel from when you
Mhm.
came out of Seneca, what was that like versus what it is now, what people are coming out with now?
Well, like just for me, like when I got out, my stuff was not that strong. Like it's like when I finished my reel and saw it for the first time, like I thought to myself, like yeah, I got some more work to do. But like the stuff I see nowadays, like I think I saw a student demo reel like a little while ago, and like the stuff they do now is amazing. Like
So what was in your original demo reel? Like what did you include?
well, we were supposed to include like a dialogue shot, a biomechanic shot, um, like shots that show good acting, good posing, good timing, good lip sync, and like an overall character and like an overall good character performance.
Yeah,
So like I think we had to have like I think it was like 3 to 4 shots of like of you demonstrating your knowledge of 3D.
gotcha.
So that
And
means yeah. So,
And versus
sorry.
what does your reel include now that's changed from you said dialogue, body mechanics, timing with lip sync and performance? Like what does your reel now include?
Well. My reel right now, like it just like it includes the same thing, but like it's just it shows
Better.
like yeah, a little bit better. Like I improved a bit, but like my reel now just shows like I have worked on like perfect on like TV shows like professional shows.
Yeah,
So my reel right now shows like my production like my production experience.
gotcha.
Like
Do
it's
you,
yeah, so like it still has the basic elements of like good acting, body mechanics, time and spacing and whatnot. But
yeah.
the extra thing I have now is like production work. Like I have studio work on my reel.
So something that I've kind of gotten the impression of is your demo reel should speak for itself, right?
Yeah,
And in
yeah.
terms of like your talent. But I'm wondering if somebody sees like, oh, hey, Jamal worked on XYZ show, does that immediately impress them versus like a really great dialogue scene of something you just made up on your own? Like, do they look to see that you actually have industry experience versus just really great talent?
Um, like yes, industry experience. If I if I show a reel with with some actual shows under my belt, like yeah, that does bump you up because like you know
Yeah.
what it's like to work in a studio and you have like real production experience.
Hmm.
If you do come out of school with a super strong reel, you're still in a pretty good standing to get picked right away
Hmm.
because what they're looking for is on top of production work. They want to see that like you're good. They want to see that you have strong animation skill. So like if you come out of school and you have no experience, but you have a really killer demo reel, you have a good chance of getting hired pretty quickly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like everything comes down to the demo reel, specifically
Yeah.
for what job you're looking for. I'm wondering because you went through Seneca and I'm at Sheridan right now and it's a degree program, so we
Mhm.
have to take various courses. Like, say I want to get into 3D character animation, I also
Yeah.
have to take storyboarding, life drawing, like all these other classes that may help my overall skill, but are like
Mhm.
I won't include in my portfolio at the end of the day, right?
Right.
So I would assume you had kind of a similar experience at Seneca, is that right?
Yeah. When I first began, I did the 3 year program.
Yeah.
So so I had to take all the courses that are in animation production. So I had to take storyboarding, life drawing, layout, character design, like acting for animation, animation history, and
Yeah.
animation history. So they go down. So they basically cover all the bases.
Yeah.
And as you progress through the year, you slowly find what you want to do, and then you focus on that in your final year.
Gotcha. So you kind of like pump all your juice into, that's a weird way of saying it,
It's all
all
right.
into a 3D animation. So you have a killer portfolio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I was
Yeah.
I was just wondering how, because like how do those other courses play into the portfolio? Because what I'm experiencing is maybe I'm not the best at life drawing, but it's helping me get better at like posing overall,
Yeah.
which is helping me in like 2D animation and stop motion or whatever. So
Yeah.
did your experience, was that similar where all those kind of
Oh
related
yeah.
courses helped you build a better yeah.
Oh yeah. Like all the courses, once you learn them, like it could funnel into the thing you want to do. Like yeah,
Yeah.
like the example you said was like I did a lot of life drawing, and that helped with my posing. So the more life draw, the better I'll get a better eye of finding a strong pose, and I could translate that into my 3D work. And same with learning 2D animation. Like I learned the principles of 2D animation, like squash and stretch, secondary timing, spacing, exaggeration, all those
Hmm.
things, and like I could funnel that into Maya because the principles the medium, like the dimensions may be different, but the principles still translate.
Yeah, yeah.
So I owe a lot of my 3D know-how to my 2D know-how because like
Nice.
even storyboarding, that like learning how to storyboard helped me set up shots and try to properly translate through shots. So learning boarding, I learned cinematography, like how to do a sequence properly. So each thing you learn in the beginning can funnel into your final reel, like into your final work if you want to pursue like animating or design or storyboarding and whatnot. So yeah, basically all those skills you learn do help in the long run.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So let me get your opinion on this maybe.
Sure.
Because sometimes, so everybody has a different path into the industry, and some people will do like an exclusively 3D online course to create a
Yeah.
portfolio versus going to school. Do you have any opinion on that?
Um,
versus taking a general degree program and then
uh,
focusing?
oh man, that's a good question. 'Cause I did both. Like I did Seneca and I took a course I took a course in iAnimate.
I animate, yeah.
Like they're both, yeah, like they're both like I recommend both. Like it just depends on on what you get out of it. Like if you go to college, it's cool because like you can network a bit more. Like you can meet with the teachers, you can meet with your peers and like build kind of a networking and build kind of a networking community. And like you could
Mhm.
also learn off and the good thing about college is you can meet new people and like you kind of learn off of them. So like if they figure out a technique that's useful, they could kind of share it. Or like if you're working on a project and you want to critique, you could turn to your desk mate and ask if you could put some eyes on it just to see how it
Yeah.
looks. So like the benefit of college is like you're around people. Like you're right, like you're around like everyone. You're around your students, your teachers, like, and it's all in one facility. So like it's better that way. And also the teachers there, like they're all professionals too, and they're all working professionals in iAnimate and in Seneca. So like no matter what, you're getting industry, you're getting real time industry feedback. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah. So what is the big difference with iAnimate? Because that is online. I'm
yeah,
assuming you don't get the community experience so much, but what is that? Can you explain the process a little bit of how that works and what you got out of that specifically?
yeah. Well, iAnimate it was kind of the same. Well, it was similar, but not really at school because like we were all in a like we like on a certain day we would all gather in a group chat
Mm.
and we would chat with everyone else and our instructor he would go through each of our shots and kind of it's like he would critique each of our shots and kind of explain what you could do better, what could stay, what could go, and how to make it better. And there is there is a community there. Like there's like forums and group chats that you could enter with all the other animators around the world. And so you could still chat and get critiques and network about things. It's just the only difference is like you're not in the same room. You're still
Mm.
connected like all over the world, and like the instructors there are like each are like DreamWorks animators and Disney animators. So you're getting a lot of feature knowledge from feature animators.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm almost inclined to say this podcast has been sponsored by iAnimate.
Oh my God.
No, it's not.
Okay. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyways, go on.
And
Sorry, I
Seneca
got
College. No, I'm just kidding.
that's it was money.
So you came out of Seneca and you had
Mhm.
trouble finding a job in
Mhm.
3D. Then you went into iAnimate. What did iAnimate give you specifically that helped you up your portfolio? What was the major thing that you learned there?
The major, one of the big things I learned there was using a reference. Like instead of just jumping into your shot, like plan it out. Like draw some boards, shoot some reference, like animate off your reference.
Yeah.
And they also really hit acting. Like like they really wanted to focus on on good acting, good decisions, good like just good choices in a performance. Like sorry, like one of our instructors advised us to take improv classes.
Did you?
Sorry?
Did you take improv?
No, well, I couldn't afford it at the moment, but I would act in front of a camera and try to like get the best performance I can. Like I tried to be I tried to be a wannabe actor, but I think it's really like acting is very hard. So I did a lot of takes, but yeah, like it did inspire me to get in front of a camera more and like not be so shy and like just act out the scene as best you can. And
Nice.
the cool thing is like you don't have to copy your acting verbatim. You can use it as a reference. Just like say if I move a certain way and I like how my head moved, or like I like that arc I put in my hand, like I could incorporate that into my animation, into my shot. So like I can shoot the reference and take bits and pieces from the reference to make my shot a bit more believable or a bit more entertaining. But what I animate really focused on was like, yeah, like strong acting, and and be really articulate with your shot, like make sure everything, like make sure like you have every micro movement of like the face or something, or like try to find a lot of good moments within moments, you know, like it was very advanced, the anime stuff.
Nice. Yeah. I'm wondering, now that you've been in the professional workforce for some time, are you
Mhm.
still shooting reference video when you're on a shot?
Oh heck yeah, of course, yeah, like before I start a shot, like before I even click the mouse, sorry, before I even click the mouse, like I would sketch out my keyframes. I would think of acting beats. I would think of ways of how my character can move in and out of his pose, like in an entertaining, fluent way. And if I really get into it, like I could go into the hall and shoot some reference. Like say I want to get a certain mouth shape or an eye dart. Yeah, I'd grab my phone and go into the hall and like shoot some reference and like try to work off that. So yeah, ever since after I animate, I really went hard into filming reference because it helps so much. And and also shooting that reference, it also adds to your reference library in your head. So like you're getting all this good information just by standing in front of a camera for like 3 seconds and just watching the natural movement of your body. Like it was eye opening. It's really good.
Nice. I never actually thought of the reference library in your head. I think that's an interesting point that you just brought up. Just the fact that you are doing this so often, you just have like a natural, I guess, learning to remember, oh yeah, when I do this kind of shot, like the face does this or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I do this movement, like the chest moves this way, so I'll keep that in mind for my next shot. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, I just keep running more and more.
So after you did the iAnimate and you like and fixed up your portfolio, how long did it take you to find a job after then? Did you find it was much easier or still kind of difficult?
It was still difficult. Like I struggled a lot through the years, but once I improved my reel and got out there again, yeah, I did manage to find work. I think it was like 4 or 5 months later, I found some work at a place called Arc, where I worked
Okay.
on Thompson Friends for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like yeah, so but yeah, but that did help. Like just taking time off to improve and then going back out there and just finding the right opportunities. Like yeah, it in the long run it helped me, and I just tried to continue that cycle.
Gotcha.
Still strong. Like don't get me wrong, it's still really hard, but like I have a better feel of it now. So
Nice. Is there something that you, when you're putting together a portfolio to get your next gig or contract or whatever, are you like, I can't wait to put this type of thing in because it's going to really impress whoever's looking at it? Like, do you have something that showcases that, like a specialty?
uh, uh um well like when I'm working on a reel, like I'm honestly not thinking like who I'm gonna impress. I'm more so doing it because I like it. But
Oh,
like but like well, I shouldn't say it. Well, wait, let me phrase that.
okay.
like like I do like yes, like, in the back of my mind I'm thinking like when I put this in, I really hope that like I'm sure they'll like it. Like I hope they'll find it entertaining.
Yeah.
But like so each shot it kind of motivates me to like be more entertaining than the last shot because I'm hoping I guess it'll catch their eye and like they'll remember me in the future.
Nice.
That's tough to answer. Sorry.
That's fine. So do you have a specialty of something that you are specifically good at within 3D that you're like, I can't wait to work on this? Like, is it like dialogue or I don't know,
uh,
what is the thing that you really like to do?
I like animating like full body stuff, like mostly like action stuff, like characters running, jumping, fighting. Like I'm more of an action scene type person. Like I love epic action and dynamic angles and like really intense sequences. So So like I did a fight, like I did a small fight scene a few years ago. Like I was very proud of that. So in the back of my mind, I was like, oh man, I was like, oh man, once someone sees this cool fight scene, it'll really catch your eye. Like,
Can
and
you
I,
reveal what show or project it was on so we can look it up?
oh well, this one was a personal one. Like, it was
Ah,
like Unreal. So like, it was from my animate. So I think it's on my Vimeo. But like, I did a small like, I used the Jackie Chan movie as a reference,
uh,
and like I sort of animated him fighting like it was Jackie Chan fighting Benny the Jet. I think it was in Wheels on Meals or something. But like I liked that action scene because it was comedic and fun. So I animated that, hoping like yeah, once I get this done and folks see it, like it'll be pretty dope. So
nice. Well,
yeah,
I'm gonna find that clip and put it in the description of this podcast. So
sure. All right, cool.
yeah.
So yeah,
Is there a show or a project that maybe you've done professionally that we can check out to see some of your magic at work?
Paw Patrol and Thomas and Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How many fight scenes are in Thomas and Friends?
so many fight scenes, train fight. No, no, like that was dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
But like there was still some good action in that show. Like I really enjoyed my time on Thomas. It was a really fun time. Like,
Gotcha.
but the most action you'll see is in Paw Patrol because like there are vehicles and group shots and whatnot. So
I
yeah,
mean,
I
yeah.
oh,
So
sorry.
you've kind of worked at quite a few studios here in Ontario over the years. I'm
Yeah.
wondering, can you give an overview of which studios are looking for CG? Because not all of them are CG focused or have CG shows. So what is the actual industry like here in Ontario for CG?
Well, the industry for CG here is pretty good. Like it's growing. Like Toronto's becoming a hub for CG animation, like Vancouver and Montreal.
Yeah.
And like some 3D studios here is there's Guru and Jamfield is 3D. Um Snowball is 3D. Oh man, there are others. It's just escaping right now. Snowball is 3D, and like there are other studios that do 2D and 3D. So like, oh, sorry, Tangent.
Mm.
That's all 3D. And oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Like I did so many. I did so much applying too.
Oh
Yeah, but
no,
like
that's all right.
no, yeah, but the bigger ones are like yeah, Guru, Jamfield, Tangent, Snowball VFX. They're doing 3D. Rocket Science. That's more VFX though. So like, so there is a 3D like there is a booming 3D industry here, but like I'm seeing mostly in VFX, but
Uh,
there are studios that do character animation as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, that's something that I didn't think of right away. There's kind of like almost maybe three or more categories of CG. There's like video games, which is totally different. There's VFX, which is like TV show and movie
Yeah, exactly.
effects.
Yeah.
Then there's TV shows. So, say, have you worked in all three kind of categories, or maybe there's more categories I'm not thinking of?
No, I mostly worked on children's shows.
Gotcha. Because I was going to ask, like, what is, if you know, maybe, or if you don't, that's fine too. What is the difference if I'm putting together a VFX reel versus a TV show reel versus a video game reel? I'm assuming they're very different
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
I could go with what I think because like don't take my word for it like totally, but like I think with VFX you need more like photo real stuff
Yeah.
more photo if you're making a VFX animation reel you need like hyper realistic animation so like creatures animals I think there's some mocap in it and yeah, like it's mostly like creature heavy. If you're doing a person, it's got to be like almost roto, like really realistic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, like I think with VFX, it's mostly realistic. Like just when you're working on your reel, make sure it's very real and believable. That
Yeah.
makes
And then
and
what about the video game side of things?
game
Yeah.
a little bit. I think game is like they want to see really good body mechanics, so like walk cycles, um, like heavy object moving.
That sounds kind of similar
Characters.
to TV, what I would expect, no?
Yeah. They are a bit similar. Like they are similar. Like with gaming, I think you're doing mostly cycles, like walk cycles, run cycles, combat stuff. Yeah, object stuff, like I mentioned before. So like with gaming, you're doing like it feels like you're doing more cycles and like actual acting.
Yeah,
So it'll be a bit more body mechanic heavy than like acting heavy because I think most of the acting in gaming is on a mocap. I
gotcha.
think I yeah
So I'm assuming there's more fight scenes in video games and maybe
yeah.
even VFX. What is stopping you from getting into those studios
Uh,
versus just sticking with TV?
Basically, it's just overall like it's just skill for me. Like I need to just level up. Basically, I gotta get good. So like I have to go back and do more research and more planning and more just acting and and just talking to more people.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah. So that's basically what I have to do. It's just get a stronger reel and gear it more towards VFX. So like more realistic stuff, not so much cartoony, snappy kid
Yeah.
show.
So I'm almost thinking it requires kind of like a different skill set if you want to switch over to a different studio that focuses on like video games or VFX. Do you know people that you work with currently that kind of switch between studios like that, or does everybody kind of stay within like TV people stay in TV, video game people stay in video game, etc.?
No, I know some folks who jump from like TV shows to feature film to gaming back to TV shows, or they go from gaming back to feature film. So like a lot of animators, they can bounce around. It's very versatile. So like no one can ever be stuck in one part. Like it's very fluid. You can bounce around each one if you want to. It
Okay.
just depends on what you put in the reel.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering maybe we could talk about the kind of the process of working for a studio because I know you've been to quite a number of studios here in Toronto and Ontario. At what point do you start looking to work on a new show or contract?
Um, I guess I look for the new contract when my current one runs out.
Yeah.
But
Well, when it runs out, or are you always like scouting around?
oh no, I do always have my feelers out. Like I'm always kind of looking around.
Yeah.
But then yeah, I'm always looking around. But then when I am at a job, like that's my focus.
Gotcha.
So like yeah, but like I'll still have my ear to the ground just to see what's happening. Like just to be in the loop.
So how do you catch wind of a new project coming up?
Well, I usually hit up a website called Canadian and sorry, 1 second. I usually hit up a website called Canadian Animator Resources.
Oh, I haven't heard of this. Canadian Animator
Anim-
Resources.
yeah, yeah. No, sorry, Canadian Animation Resources, and like they have job postings there, and also sometimes I would kind of ask my peers, like if I find out, usually a friend of mine would tell me, oh, this place is looking for animators, maybe resume. So it's half online and half like just on the grapevine.
Gotcha. I just went to the website and it says we're undergoing difficulties. We're doing maintenance right now and will be
Oh,
available
for real?
shortly.
Wow. Oh, all
So
right.
is it down? Hopefully it's not down. That sucks.
Yeah, because I was on the last time and it was fine, but I guess yeah, they're doing maintenance.
What a coincidence. So there's just like I guess all the companies post their positions there and you just kind of scour through and see if something fits.
Yeah, exactly.
What's like other than like obviously reaching out and being like, "Hey, here's my portfolio or my resume or my cover letter, whatever." Like what is the hiring process typically like? Is it like a series of interviews? Do they just say, "Oh, we like your portfolio. Would you like to come in?" That's it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, no, well, it's mostly like yeah, like they see the demo reel
Yeah.
and if they think you have if they think you have the stuff, like if they think you're qualified, then they'll ask you in for an interview, and
Gotcha.
then you just meet them in person, and they'll tell you what they're like. They'll explain to you what the job is, and here are the hours, and what they're looking for, and like how the show works. So it's like a basic interview for any job. It's just like
Okay.
yeah, it's
Because
like
I was gonna ask, like, what are they looking for in the interview specifically? Like, if they already know you have the technical skill, what else are they looking for? Just to see that you are a regular person or something, or can
yeah,
maintain.
yeah,
So,
they want to know if you're good to work with, and just basically how you are as a person. Like, what's your personality like?
so how do you showcase that in the interview specifically?
I just be nice, make
Be
eye
nice.
contact, like just be respectful, like make
Yeah,
eye contact, ask questions if you can, just be normal, don't try to put on some show, just come in as yourself, and that usually works. Just be genuine.
gotcha. So then when they are like, "Hey, we want you to come and work for us," they send you a contract, and then you just walk into the studio and start working.
You'll Yeah, they'll send you an offer, and then they'll either send you a contract online, or you go on your first day and do some paperwork, and then they just show it to your desk, and then they give you your shots, then you go.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty fast. Just jump right
yeah,
in.
basically, yeah. There are some places where they'll train you and ease you in, but usually, from what I remember, you just jump in, because I think in the interview, you already meet the leads and the managers and whatnot. So
Okay.
when you
So
come in for your
what
first
do you
day,
do
they
to get
just
up
get.
to what do you do to get up to speed on that first day when they're like, "Here are your shots, go for it." Like, I'm
Well,
assuming
I
it
just
takes a
try.
little bit of time.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. There's a slow build up. I slowly build up, but to prepare, I'll sometimes, if the show is out already, I'll watch previous episodes just to
Hmm.
get a feel of the style, and then the first day, I'll just I'll spend most of it trying to just use the rig, see how the rig works and whatnot, and then later on in the day, and then after that, I'll jump into some shots and just start working.
Gotcha.
It's
And
yeah,
then and then you just go at it till the show's done and the contract's over, and then you like repeat, right? I guess.
yeah, pretty much. You'll either get sometimes you'll get an extension, or sometimes they'll just have you on for that block of time and keep you on file for later if they find any more spots for you. So it depends mostly.
Yeah, I've talked to other animators in Toronto, mostly in like 2D, and everybody kind of has a similar experience where they are on a contract for a show, and then that ends, and then they start a different contract, and that might be at a different studio, or maybe the
Mhm.
same studio in a different show, and it's like everybody ends up working at every studio here,
Yeah,
almost.
exactly. Yeah,
How,
yeah.
yeah, how typical is it to actually get a full time, like, because from my background in the business world, like I worked two companies in each for 3.5 years each, where I just there was an opportunity to stay there forever.
Right, yeah.
So how typical is it for somebody to get hired full time and work for years at one studio?
Hmm. Well, um, I don't know for sure because it never happened to me, but I think it's pretty typical. I think it's pretty common. If they like you, and if they like you and you do good work, and you gel with everyone else, and you want to
Yeah.
learn more, they'll keep sometimes they'll keep you. Don't know how it works, but I do have friends there who've been at studios for years and years,
Gotcha.
just because yeah, they're good, or they're really good, or to me, I think, because they're really good, and folks are like them, so why not keep this super strong animator there, just to have be there, just to have them be there and make good work.
Gotcha. Is that something that you would want, or do you kind of thrive in this like working? Because I'm also assuming if you're at one studio for a while, maybe they have shows that like in their like I don't know sixth season or something too. Like they have stable shows where you can keep working on it.
Right.
Or so is that something that you would want to do, or or do you kind of thrive by going contract to contract and studio to
Yeah,
studio?
well, I don't mind going contract to contract, but like I am shooting for a permanent spot
Oh,
because
okay.
like pressure of bouncing around so much. So yeah,
Well,
yeah, like I would like it like in the long run, I would like a longer I would like a longer spot because like yeah, it just takes the pressure out of like just always searching. So once you know you have like a solid job, like you kind of relax a bit.
gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just also wondering, when you get on a new contract, is it like all your buddies from the last contract start working again? You're like, hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, like again, it's a very small industry, so yeah, I do see a lot of folks I knew in the past. So it's a nice little reunion. Like we kind of catch up, be like, hey, how's life? How was life going beforehand? What are you up to nowadays? So like, yeah, you do see a lot of familiar faces.
Nice. That's really
Yeah,
funny.
it's very cool. Like,
Um,
it's nice seeing folks from it. It's nice seeing folks you work with before just doing well. It's cool.
so yeah, you kind of took me through the hiring process where you submit a portfolio and then they call you in for an interview. But when you come on a project, it seems like you already know a bunch of people there. How much does the connection thing actually pay off versus like just cold submitting your portfolio every time? Like, does it happen where somebody's like, hey, I just got hired on this gig and I put a good word in for you for the director, and just submit your portfolio and you should have like an interview lined up? Does that happen, or is it all cold?
No, well, not like it's mostly cold, but no, like I do have like sometimes someone will like shoot me some info and put in a good word for me.
Hmm.
So like the network aspect really like is really good because like if you know someone on the inside, they can kind of vouch for you. Be like I knew Jamal way back. I used to work with him. He's an okay guy. Like like I'll give his information because most folks do need people. So like if you have a friend of a friend, it is beneficial because like you kind of bypass the you kind of bypass the is this person a like does this person have a good personality type thing? So like getting recommended from a friend of a friend is very helpful because it kind of skips a cold calling process because like
Yeah.
once they explain that they kind of have an idea of you. So I would say networking and getting to know people will help you like a lot, like vastly.
Do you go to things like industry events and job fairs and stuff like that too?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So do you have what's the best way for you to get to know someone, I guess?
Just talk to them.
Just talk to them. Hey, what's
Yeah,
up?
well, get to know them. Like don't like okay. What I would do is like I wouldn't like if I'm meeting someone in the industry, I'm not like in my like I'm not thinking like I'm not thinking this person is gonna get me a job. I just want to
Yeah.
get to know them and learn from them and just yeah. Like I don't want to use them. Like I just want to get to know them. You know?
Do you have like the equivalent of a pickup line for
No,
meeting someone new?
not
Like,
really. No, no. Like at an like usually at an event, I just say hi. Like I'll see a studio. I'll go up to them. I'll introduce myself.
yeah.
I'll ask what I'm looking for and just and like we'll chat about that. But like at an animation party or something like where there's no desk, like I'll just mingle. Like I wouldn't be like, hey, I'm an animator. Here's my reel. Like I
Right.
would show someone a reel while having a beer. Like I'll just chat with them.
What is an animation party?
Oh, well, like okay, like Taffy, like they have like
Okay, okay. I see like the mixer before. Okay, I
the
gotcha.
mix, yeah, exactly. Animation party. What am I thinking? Yeah, yeah, like a mixer with industry people.
Gotcha.
Like I'm not like if I go to one of those things, like I'm not gonna bring a reel. I'm just gonna like mingle with people and just talk
Yeah.
to folks. Like
Do
I
you
don't have like my intent isn't to find a job. It's just to meet people
So
and just
I've
get to
been
know them.
to like the Taffy Mixer. I've been to like the job fair,
Cool.
and I've been to some things, and I still get super nervous when talking to somebody for the first time. I'm like in my head, I'm like, What do
What
I
makes
say? How do I approach them? What if and then there's like a dead silence for a little bit and it's
yeah,
awkward. Does that ever go away?
nope. Well,
No.
well, no, it does. Like I was kidding. Once you get more, com- once you get more comfy with people, like you'll be able to like words will come out easier.
Okay.
Like it was even harder for me because like if you haven't noticed, I have a stutter. So when I do talk to most folks, like I'm always tripping over words. But like the more you do it, the more comfy you get with it. Like the thing is, you gotta immerse yourself in that situation that makes you uncomfortable, so you get more comfy in it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I find that when I'm with somebody else, I feel more comfortable because I can kind of like feed off of like somebody else that I know. I can like
Yeah,
feed off their energy or like come back to them and chat with them. But when I'm by myself, I feel like sometimes I'm just like standing there awkwardly by myself doing
yeah.
nothing.
Oh heck yeah, yeah. I know that feeling. Yeah, it's an awkward feeling, and like because like you have no one's energy, like you have no one else's energy to work off of. So yeah, you do feel awkward, but like the thing is, you gotta find ways to get past it. That's
Yeah, yeah.
I wish I had an easy answer, but like you just like sometimes you gotta just do it, and
Well,
the more comfy you get. It's like drawing. Just like when you begin drawing, you're bad at it because like you know what you're doing, but like the more you learn about like shapes and design and anatomy, the better you get at it. So to get better at talking to folks, you gotta talk to folks.
okay. Next industry event I see you at, I'm gonna leech off your energy.
Okay, sure, yeah, I could be an energy battery. It's fine.
Perfect. Excellent. Yeah, no, I like what you said about that you just have to force yourself to do it more and then it becomes more comfortable. So I feel that. And it's like in the moment, I have so many thoughts of like, I don't want to do this. It's going to be stupid. They're not going to want to talk to me. And you just have to like get rid of all that negative energy, I guess, and just do it.
Exactly. Get rid of negative energy. Try to turn it around, and
Yeah.
just yeah, like try to redirect that negative energy into positive energy, and like and try to share that with others. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
like it's hard though, but
so I know on our pre-chat you mentioned something to me that maybe kind of ties into this as it's kind of along the same line where you think you need to work harder than you think you do
yeah.
to get better at what you're doing. Can you elaborate on what you mean by that?
Well, the thing is, yeah, I think it's like I want to work harder to get better, but like, yeah, it's tough to come back on. Like, the thing is, like, oh gosh,
Well, the sentiment was like you're already working hard, but to get to the next level, you have to work even harder than you think you're even working now. And so like what does working harder even look like? Or what do you mean like working harder at what?
well, basically, it's just like kind of stepping up your game. Like say you did like a one person body mechanic shot the last month. On
Hmm.
your next shot, do two people, like do two people dancing or two people arguing, like try to up each shot you do. Like if you do like a one, if you do like a two-man action shot, do one with like a creature and like another person. Like just try to basically improve on your last one, and like when you approach that new shot, you'll have you will get new struggles,
Yeah.
but at the same time you'll gain new knowledge, and that'll make you better. It's basically it's basically just going one step further, like making each thing gradually harder on yourself, so you'll learn a bit more each time, and
I
that way you can make yourself better.
I
If that
feel
makes
like that
sense.
in kind of school and like school kind of forces me to do that. Like in first year semester one, it's like we're animating a pendulum and I'm like, I just animated a great pendulum. This looks great. I got the timing good. And it's like now I'm working on a full like lip synced full body character movement, 24 frames per second for like my second year project. But it's funny how in the moment I'm like I'm getting really good. I feel very confident, and then the next project is thrown at you, and you almost feel like you don't know where to start. So
Yes.
For what you just said, say you're working on like Paw Patrol, for instance, and I'm just speculating, but say you're only getting like one person dialogue shots for your entire contract, I guess. How do you
Mm.
actually do that thing where you're working harder to up your game when you're getting paid to just do kind of the same thing over and over again? Are you like working evenings and weekends to on your own stuff? Are you asking the supervisor for more difficult shots? Like how do you make sure that you're always upping your game?
Yeah. Well, at work, I usually just like I don't really ask for anything harder. I just do what they give me. But like on evenings and weekends, yeah, like I'm 100% doing my own thing. Like on like from like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like I'm working on my own shots. Like I'll try to plan like a more complex fight scene or a more complex animal shot, or like I would sometimes dive into character design or concept art. So in my off time, that's really my time to try to improve what I want to do. At
Gotcha.
work, and then like I could take what I learned from at home and apply it to work. So like I'm constantly learning and applying things. Like sometimes I struggle a bit, but I'm still doing it just to keep my skills up. So like yeah, mostly in my spare time I'm doing other things just to get better.
Gotcha. Is this something typical of other animators too, where everybody's kind of trying to up their game in their spare time?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
boy.
Like, yeah. That's what I gotta do it because like yeah, most of my buddies like like they still like even like they're still working on shows, but like in their spare time they're still like animating their own thing because like in the like at the end of the day it's an art and
Yeah.
you gotta really hone your art and work on your craft to get better at it. So like sometimes I would see a pretty cool dialogue shot from one of my friends who sat across from me and I would sometimes go up there and be like, hey man, that was a great shot you did. Like how did like and like sometimes I would ask like how did you make this character do this and like we would kind of bounce ideas off each other. So in that way, it's good to work in your spare time because like you can learn new things and then share it with your peers and like make and then make and then make your peers around you better artists. So doing that, you can kind of
Nice.
get back in a way. So like
Yeah, yeah. I'm wondering, we didn't really touch on this, but when you're actually on a contract, what are you expected to deliver? I've heard some places ask for like a minute of animation a week,
yeah,
or like what when you're working on a show like Paw Patrol or something similar,
mm,
what are you actually doing on that show?
like
Like every week?
every week like our quote like we have a quota and like every week like we basically get a number of shots to animate, but like on my time there I did mostly I did mostly group shots and some like individual shots and some vehicle shots like shows like that. It all varies it mostly depends on what they give you in the it depends on what your supervisor gives you or your
Gotcha.
league. Yeah,
So every week your like supervisor or whatever gives you a number of shots from a storyboard, and then you have to animate it.
pretty much. Yeah, like we'll get a storyboard and like we'll get the my file, but like it's all laid out for us. So all we so once we get a shot, we just animate the characters in that sequence the best we can.
Yeah.
But like we do work off the storyboard and like we get the storyboard, the sound, and the layout, and then the rest is up to us. We just animate.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So I'm
and
assuming that you're constantly also getting feedback from your supervisor or the director or something throughout to make sure that it all hits at the end of the week.
yes, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like first we do a blocking pass, and we always show it to our leader, our director, to get more feedback and make sure everything is in good continuity with the show.
Yeah.
So like that's a big part. So like every week we would meet with our supervisor, and he would critique our shots and be like and say like, change your posing on this, or like add more squash here, or like make the character be sadder here, or like or fix this pose, or like add more arcs here. So they would basically go through our shots and tell us what we can improve on it, what needs to go, what's good, what's not good. So
Gotcha. So
it's
so
right.
you've been working for what, like over 6 years or something now at studios. I'm wondering if there's been a specific piece of feedback that has stuck with you throughout your career.
It should be get good. Well, no, just because I guess like I gotta be a bit faster. I'm
Faster.
Yeah, I'm still too precious with my shots, so I really I gotta get my speed up there, speed and quality. But yeah.
So are there things that you've done over the years to get faster at your shots?
Yeah. I've been researching a lot of workflows,
Hmm.
like like animation workflows, like not just 2D, but CG ones. Like how can I quickly get a pose, or how can I quickly get my keys, my breakdowns, without spending so much time messing with the rig. And
Yeah. So how do you actually do that? Because something I never really thought of, because um, there's like everybody agrees that you need skill to get in the industry and whatever, but workflow is also very important for speed and delivering deadlines.
yeah,
Um,
exactly,
and that's quite interesting to me, because it sounds like it's like, here are your shots. By the end of the week, they have to be done, and then you have to scramble and figure that out. But if you have a good workflow, that's kind of a formula for creating a good shot no matter what. Um,
exactly.
that would be really beneficial, I guess. So what are some of the things that you've put in your workflow that have helped you get faster?
Um, I tried this one thing where like I would do my two key shots in Maya,
Yeah.
and it has this thing where it auto in betweens. So like
Okay.
for example, I'd have a key shot on frame one and frame like five, and then I would scrub in between to find like the best. I guess I could try to find the best interpolation that Maya gives me, and then I would key that in the middle, and then I would go to the interpolation pose I keyed for Maya, and try and pose it to favor either my last pose or my first pose. So I would basically take what Maya gives me, and then I would tweak it myself to match the other poses. So doing that, you kind of skip the you skip the part on where to place it, because it's kind of already placed in between there.
Okay.
And so then I would take that middle pose and kind of and just repose it to favor my two keys, or yeah, to favor my keys.
So you were doing this manually before?
Like I would manually make two keys, and then click in the middle, and then manually like match it, which is still fine to do. Like it's still like you can still do that, but I just found it a bit quicker just to use what Maya gives me, and then tweak that and make it match my last pose as much as possible.
Nice, nice. Are there any other time-saving tips you have?
Uh, yeah, like with that, it does the with yeah. There's that, and then also before I jump into Maya, I would draw out my key poses, so I know what I'm doing, rather than, because usually I would go into Maya and kind of mess with the rig, and
Yeah.
then like an hour would pass by and have one pose, so that set me back. So I found it a lot better just to draw my key poses and work off those, because because I have because I'm faster with drawing. Like I can speak that language much quicker, and
Gotcha.
just simplify some poses, and then transfer them into Maya. And then there was one method I used for when I was at home, is I would animate most of my shot hand drawn, and then I would export my hand-drawn animation, put it into Maya, and like work off my hand-drawn keys. So basically, like I would hand draw everything roughly, and then use Maya to clean it up.
I'm assuming, like, it almost sounds like you know what you're good and fast at, so you're incorporating that into your specific workflow. Because I'm wondering if does everybody kind of do this, where they like draw it ahead of time, or they take the in between pose and they like shift it around, or is this something that has worked for your workflow specifically?
It's worked for me, but like every animator has a unique workflow.
Yeah.
It's like a thumbprint. Like they have a unique way of doing things. Sometimes their method, like I would try to use their method, and sometimes it wouldn't gel with me. But sometimes I could give advice to someone, and like that advice wouldn't work for them. So It depends on the animator. Like we all have various workflows that work for us.
Yeah, I think that's good, because like going through school, sometimes there's like this formula that is supposed to work for everybody, I guess. But as you just said, like it's understanding what you're really good at and applying that to the situation, regardless. Because I would think there's no 2D animation in 3D, but maybe there's not for a lot of people, but for you there is. There's like doing it rough 2D first. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, because the principles translate. Is just you're just using a different pencil, and I studied 2D for a while, so I know the language a lot better. So I could block out poses really easily, or like get a sequence really easily if I draw it out first.
Nice. Yeah. I'm just wondering, as we're kind of wrapping up the chat, is there any advice that you would give to somebody who wants to get into 3D and they're kind of pursuing that right now, that you wish you had when you were starting out, or that you've learned since?
What I learned mostly is just practice, work hard, surround yourself with like-minded people, like talk to other animators, observe life.
This podcast.
Yeah, listen to this podcast. For all the sweet info. Yeah, this podcast, like observe life a lot, like go out, go to events, talk to people, get experiences. Like all of this will feed into your animation reference library. Like the most advice I'd say was like yes, make animation your life, but have a life too. Like get out there, like meet people, have experiences, and have that feed into your artwork.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's like expand your horizons, because everything is like an internal library reference library for you.
Exactly. And animation is the illusion of life, and so you gotta have a life. Yeah, to fit that illusion. So I would say mostly just just work hard, practice a lot, talk to other professionals, like talk to your peers, talk to your teachers, talk to whoever you can, and just get experiences, and work really, really hard.
Sweet. Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Not at the moment, sorry.
That's okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Gemal. And if you're listening and you'd like to get in touch with him or follow his work, you can check out his Instagram, which is Gemal67, or find him in LinkedIn. And I'll include both those links in the description of this podcast. And that is all for now. So thanks so much for listening. Okay, bye.